use awakening only. Everything is awakened. In the way of discarding itself, in the way of disengage from disengaging itself. Breakthrough with awaken. Use this thought first in order to remove all thoughts. Use this reminder. Everything is awakened more constantly. It's like reciting, but it's not. Use this reminder more often as a guidance. Then you will get out of any state of mind. Use this reminder first of all. Everything is awakened in the way of discarding itself. In the way of disengage from disengaging itself. First of all, use this guidance because it will help release out from any state. Body and mind will be released automatically. Use this reminder as a guidance. Don't use effort. Use this reminder. Don't use effort to get out of any state because there is no power to do that anyway. Everything is awakened. Everything is awakened. Always use this reminder. It's the spontaneity of the awakening. Everything is awakened. This is the reminder that helps the states of mind released from itself. Each reminder has an effort in itself, but don't go further, more with the effort. Everything is awakened. In the way of discarding itself, in the way of disengage from disengaging itself. If there is no power to use the thoughts much, then everything is awakened. Everything is awakened on and on like this. The word everything will release from everything as well. Awaken with everything simultaneously. What is it about Nibbana actually? Even stillness, the most stillness is not Nibbana. Nibbana doesn't signify as anything at all. Whatever that is given here is discarding itself, let go of the letting go itself, ending is right there. Nibbana that is not is there on its own. Nibbana is not considered as any state of mind or anything at all. It is not about having a setup for attainment and practice for attainment on and on. Nibbana is not considered as any state of mind or anything whatsoever. It doesn't signify as anything. It's just a word. It just discarding itself, let go of the letting go itself, then it will end the samudaya. Normally, the way of samsara is trying to let go or not letting go, trying to be attached, trying to be detached. Samsara is totally having the samudaya, the cause of sufferings. Therefore, just give ending to the samudaya. Let go of the letting go itself, discard the discarding itself. That's all. There is not at all about anything else than that. Just discard the discarding itself, let go of the letting go itself constantly. Then the put down is there on its own, emptiness on its own. The practice is creating a state in itself. It is creating realms of existence. It is practicing of a state. It's not about let go of the letting go itself, put down the put down itself. It is the practice of the samudaya. The practice is the samudaya in itself. That's why it becomes like this. Practicing samudaya, then the result is the samudaya. Discard the discarding itself, let go of the letting go itself is not the samudaya, not the cause of suffering and the suffering. The ending is right there. That's all. It's enough. There is nothing else. Naturally, it's not about anything and anything. But whenever you practice, there will be something, there will be a state of mind, there will be a symptom, there will be a condition. That is the samudaya. The practice is there. The result is the result of the samudaya. There is not much, child. It's not what samsara has thought. It just let go of the letting go itself, put down the putting down itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. That's all. There's nothing. Just have to use these keynotes more constantly. Not attached to the non-attachment itself, let go of the letting go itself. Right now, use the keynotes constantly. Don't use the mind. There is no need to practice the mind in whatever ways. No need. Use the guidance of the keynotes because it's the keynotes to get out of any state on its own. Use this guidance. That's all. Let go of the letting go itself. Discard the discarding itself. You can use any sentence. Or you can use everything is awakened. This is gonna help you release out from drowning and maintaining within your own mind. Each time of this reminder, it will release on its own. It will release out from the maintaining of the mind on its own. Whenever time that you use this keynote. The latest generations, they practice it for attainment. For example, wishing for Nibbana is already wrong. Nibbana is not about anything, doesn't signify anything. No one can obtain Nibbana at all. Otherwise, it's going to be distorted. Whatever that is set up to attain, it will be a practice in this way and that way. It's not Nibbana. It's become realms of the mind, realms of Dharma in this way and that way, on and on. Whatever that is given is not much. If not attached to the non-attachment, then follow that. Be direct. There is not much here. All the difficulties in practices is all about the karmic difficulties. These karmic difficulties is derived from the karma of insulting, looking down, rebuke towards those who have such a karmic difficulties with such a practices in this way and that way. Concerning the karmic difficulties of the Buddhas in the past regarding practicing, that is the karmic difficulties of practices that had to pay it back at first. They also have it. Whatever that karmic difficulties that the Buddhas had, they had to pay back first. But the true essence is not anything at all. That's all. Just let go of the letting go itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. That's all. Discard the discarding itself. Give up the giving up itself. Cutting, also cutting within the cutting itself is not about cutting off something, not attached to the non-attachment itself, instead of not attached to anything. The essence is like this, that's all. The rest is just the form of karmic difficulties. Therefore, all the Buddhas don't teach from their own karmic difficulties. No matter how they practice on how their karmic difficulties, they will not use that as their teachings, but each word that they say instead will cut through instantly, will end instantly, right there and then. If we look at the forms, at various forms, we just follow that. That means that we also have the same karmic difficulties as all of those Buddhas. That's why we have to pay back in the same way. If one doesn't have such a vibhak, how can one has to grab that as a practice? For what? If we have the same vibhak, the same karmic difficulties, then we follow the same karmic difficulties. We will practice such a way. But whenever the Buddhas enlightened, with only a sentence of the enlightenment, the audience will be enlightened accordingly, instantly, as well. Buddhas didn't teach anyone to practice in this way or that way at all. Buddha's sentence is the sentence of the enlightenment, helping through the enlightenment only, not to teach to practice in whatever ways. All those practices, whether it is of the Buddhas or the Buddha followers, they are just the karmic difficulties. We cannot take that into account or follow that, because it will not be according to the enlightenment, only following the karmic difficulties instead. Therefore, the sentence that is giving ending accordingly is not about practices, not falling to practice. It's just listening, and ending is right there and then. For example, let go of the letting go itself, discard the discarding itself. Follow that, then it's according to this. It's not about discarding anything or put down anything. The ending is right there. Let go of the letting go itself is not about having to let go of anything. For everything, with everything, discard the discarding itself. Let go of the letting go itself, that's all. Just remind oneself constantly, because this keynote will brighten out, purifying everything inside and outside. So this is the infinite force to purify samsara. Remind more often. This is the reminders of Buddhas and Arahants within themselves. It's the same essence. With everything, discard the discarding itself. It's not about discarding anything, body or mind. With everything, discard the discarding itself. These are the sentences, the same as Buddha's essence, Arahant's essence, ending for samsara. Let go of the letting go itself is not about letting go of body or mind or anything. These are the sentences of the enlightenment, the sentences of the essence of the Buddhas and the Arahants. They are the sentences of the great compassion to bless samsara as well. Diligently use these reminders. This is not about discarding body or mind. With everything, discard the discarding itself. This is not about discarding everything. Instead, discard the discarding itself. This is the essence, the sentence of the enlightenment, cutting through the deluded knowing. The form of karmic difficulties which has been passing, then is bygone. Awakened in the way of discard the discarding itself, in the way of let go of the letting go itself.